Hi, I'm Alex Archbold, and I've been buying and selling antiques since I was 9 years old. From basements to scrapyards, I'll look just about anywhere I can to find lost antiques and collectibles. And sometimes I'll go big and buy everything. I never know what's going to happen or who I'm going to meet. This is our life, this is our adventure, and this is Curiosity Inc. Hey guys, and welcome to today's episode. Today I am revisiting a place that I have been to, but that you have not been to. Last year I came out to a small town just east of Edmonton, and I came out to buy some old car radios, which have come in very handy. I got the factory correct radio for my Mercedes, factory correct radio for my Ferrari, all from this one gentleman. But what surprised me was that he had such a vast collection of really nice classic cars, and I didn't get a chance to show any of that last time I was out there. Honestly, I was too bashful and too humbled by his collection to even ask to film. But this time I have asked if I can film, and he's given me the green light. And trust me guys, when you see the cars this guy has just lying around, you're gonna be floored. So stick with me on today's episode as we show you some really cool cars. So let's go check it out. I have come to the amazing car place that I was thinking of, which I ended up buying an MG from. And the first thing that we see when we walk in the door, Myron here, the owner of all these vehicles, 87 Ferrari 328. This is a GTS?
Yeah.
Okay. And it looks to be in absolutely pristine condition. Now, you were saying you did the body work and everything on this yourself, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. It is just a phenomenal looking car.
It wasn't a whole big bunch of body work. It was hit right in this, right here.
Oh, so it had a little bit of damage on the front fender.
We didn't replace any body panels. The structural, with these Ferraris, the older ones, you could go down to your local metal shop and pick up all the pieces that you need there. You just have to fabricate them.
Right.
Yeah. Wise, had it all, we went through everything, but
yeah, I mean, the interior looks great. And this, so pretty much a lot of the cars that we've seen here are cars that you would consider selling, right? Or are for sale actively? Okay, you've got, now that seems like it's out of place, but is that Maserati as well?
No,
or?
no, that one there is a 92 LeBaron GTC.
Yep.
Here, the thing is with that, it's only got 200 kilometers on it. It's never been registered. I still got the NIVIS form.
Why did I think that they did some sort of LeBaron crossover with?
I have one, okay, over at the my other shop.
Oh, okay.
It's a cross between Maserati and Chrysler.
Right, that's what I got that confused with.
Yes.
But how many miles are on this? 400 and something?
200.
200.
Yeah.
So it's basically a brand new car.
Right. Like I said, it's never been registered.
And so what's something like a 202 kilometer? So that's like, what, 150 miles or something on this since brand new? What's something like that worth?
Okay, I think that I am underpriced, okay? And was looking to get like $28,000 for the car.
Canadian.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which,
all things considered, how often do you find a brand new, I guess you got to really like them, but this was sort of a specialty, these LeBarons.
This car, okay, because I have the original dealer invoice on
Yep.
this car too as well. It was $22,000 in 1992.
Wow. And if they would have spent that same amount of money, I don't know how much this was in 92, but it probably wouldn't have been that much different at the time.
You mean when this was new?
Not when it was new, but like...
92? Yeah, in 92 you could most probably bought it someplace in that $30,000, $40,000 range, yes.
Right, and so this is retained its value because it's basically like brand new.
Yeah.
But this is what hextupled in value. I'm going to make up words now.
And they fluctuate like crazy.
They do, yeah.
At one point in time, this was down to about, I'm going to say $75,000, $80,000.
Yeah.
And then they really peaked up to darn near 200,000. you know.
For a real clean one, yeah. And then you can find them kind of all over the place.
Oh, yes, yep, exactly.
But it's like anything, condition plays a role and all that stuff. But classic body lines, very similar in style to a 308 almost, you know, the alcove sort of on the side. But aside from the exotic red car up at the front here, you've got all sorts of cool American stuff. A Camaro SS, Z28.
Z28 with the cross rams.
Oh, it's got the cross rams in it.
Yeah.
68. Oh yeah, look at that.
And this is a numbers matching car. It was authenticated because at one point in time when a guy was interested in buying it, he wanted it authenticated, sent the person down here. We took it over to the other shop so the guy could look up, put it up on the hoist and everything else. And at that time, the guy says, yeah, that's a true Z28. And he says, you're not asking enough money for that.
The real deal. So, yeah, but he didn't end up buying it, obviously, and here it is.
One of those guys that,
I mean, it's absolutely in pristine condition. Did you do the restoration on this?
No.
It was in this kind of shape when you got it?
I mean, but every single one of these cars is that, like, I don't care if I bought a $1,000 car or a $100,000 car, I have to do work on all of them.
Right.
You know what I mean? You have to do something. You know, this one here ended up doing the carburetors on this one. Just, you know, over time they dry up and our fuel isn't as good as it used to be.
Yep.
But
that's the truth, isn't it?
Yeah.
And you've got just every kind of cool muscle car that some guy would want a miniature of, let alone the real deal. You've got a full-size toy collection in here.
It's been a passion of mine for a long time. And believe me, some people think I got a lot of money. I don't. I have a lot of stuff. I don't have much money.
Well, I mean, money is just, but what fun is money? It's just paper.
Right. That's right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
It's more fun to have things you can enjoy.
Well, yes, very much so, because...
And what year is this? Is 70?
72.
72, okay.
Yeah, 72, and this is also it's not a numbers matching, because the engine is now, it's got an LS6 in it.
Okay.
And originally it came with an LS5, which is, I think, 390 horse.
But it's an authentic SS car?
Oh, yes, and here's the documentation from GM.
Oh, there it is right there. Oh, it was sold new in Edmonton.
Yeah.
A local vehicle. That's always nice to have.
Yeah.
And then you've got another 428 Mustang.
It was originally a 428 Mach 1, but what it's got in it now is an all aluminum 427 side oiler built by Shelby Corporation.
Oh, okay. So it's a little hot.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Now this one, I don't know, because I called them up to find out how can I tell which horsepower rating this one was. And where they put the serial number, if you want to call it, is between the block and the transmission. So you have to take the bell housing off and shit like that to see it.
Oh, so it's back here somewhere.
Back there, yes.
Okay.
Because I was searching all of their front and everything else and I couldn't find it, then I called them up. But they came with either 550, 650, or a 750 horse. And I'm not too sure which one it is. All I know is when I took it to the track and basically did a quarter-mile burnout.
And this was, so Shelby Motorworks out of Las Vegas?
Yes.
Okay, wow. Not many people have a Shelby. And Carol, when you got it, was Carol Shelby still around?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. This was picked up in Palm Springs.
In Palm Springs, okay. What a car, though. I mean, these have really shot up in value the last few years, too. This is almost like, I know it's a Mach 1, but it has that Eleanor sort of 68 kind of look. You know, you could imagine Steve McQueen getting out of something like that. But super neat. And a Buick GS?
Yes.
400?
This one, yeah. This one here. I started doing this car back in 1981 for a friend of mine. I didn't have a shop or anything at that time. I was working out of my back garage. And he came to me and he wanted me to just redo the powertrain because I didn't have a body shop or anything at that time. And anyways, then he wanted me to do the frame up too for him. So we took the body off and everything else, sent the body to a body shop to get done. which we ended up redoing afterwards because things just weren't right.
It wasn't the way you wanted it.
But this car, it's got air conditioning. It's
And this was a local, was this a Canadian car as well?
yeah, it's a Canadian car, yeah. We added in a lot of the options on it. This car did not come with air conditioning.
Okay.
But we had a donor car, so I cut the firewall out of that donor car, put it into this one for the air conditioning. And it's got the twilight signal system, you know, for automatic dimming of the lights.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah. The driver's seat is powered, the passenger seat reclines, it's got power windows, power locks, power trunk, and it is a true 4-speed, 400 car.
And a true induction hood too.
Yes.
A lot of times you see the induction hoods and they're non-functional, but this is functional.
Yes, yes.
Where it basically draws the air right through, for those watching at
Yeah,
home that don't
yeah.
know.
Yeah, it just, right into here.
Yep. And in it goes. Well, tremendous. And this isn't in a 455 horsepower Firebird?
Well, not 455 horsepower.
Or 455.
455 cubic inch.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
And the rarity about this one is it has the M22 4-speed, and there was only either 165 or 167 built with the 455 HO and an M22 4-speed. In the Muncies, they had an M20, M21, and an M22.
Pretty hot car.
Yeah.
And when I was a kid, I had the AFX slot car set, and I had pretty much the same color scheme and same body as this, and it was my favorite one to use. I think it had working headlights even. And so I have fond childhood memories of these. 'Cause everything is so nice and clean too. Like the engine bays. I mean, these are all ready they're resale already.
Yes, but I tell you, even though now is what I like to do on them, if I sell one, is I'll say, you know what, I like to go through it just to make sure that, you know, the brakes are working properly, because after even just sitting, you know, the seals either dry up, you know, so I like to go that way. And sometimes if people say, no, I want to take it just the way it is, and I'll say, okay, fine, you can do that.
Yeah, I mean, who wouldn't want somebody to go through it though and make sure it looks and works properly? But it's funny, I found out I had a brother, which is a whole other story, but I met the guy for the first time. His name's Steve, lovely man. And I go in his backyard, and you know, I'm a car enthusiast, so you're there to meet your new relative. But he had a 70 Charger in Hemi orange in original unrestored condition sitting in his yard under a tarp. So it was like, hey, nice to meet you. Oh my gosh, is that a 70? Oh, a 70 Cuda. And with the big block and stuff in it, and very similar body style to this.
And you said a brother that you didn't know?
I didn't know about. I just met him last year. My dad didn't know he existed either. And so we did the DNA thing.
Yeah.
And then it turned up I had a half brother. And anyway, he's into the same stuff I'm into. And he had this.
That would be great.
It would. Well, yeah. But then it's hard not showing interest in the vehicle when you're trying to, you know. But we went around to antique stores and went and found some stuff together. So it was a good time. I got to go back. He's in Denver, so I got to go back and see him again. But really cool car. That's 383 with the 4-barrel.
This one here, the rare thing about this one, it's got a fold-down rear seat.
Oh, so you get more.
This is the second Challenger I've seen with a fold-down rear seat.
Just to give you more trunk space?
No, I guess, you know, if you want to.
If you want to pass stuff through?
Yeah, if you want to pass.
Or it gives you like a little, it's kind of like a businessman's coupe almost. Oh, I see. It's got like a parcel shelf back there when it folds down.
Well, that opens up.
Oh, I see. So that opens up.
Yeah.
You got this carpeted area. It's almost like when you would see those old 30s traveling salesman cars, and they'd have room back there for your samples and stuff. But yeah, it gives you a lot more storage.
Yeah.
Really, really neat. And so what is something like this going for? Like what's a Challenger going for these days?
This one here, again, I got to kind of recalculate things.
Right.
$80,000.
Right, but what a car, and it doesn't need anything. It's good to go.
Yeah. And air-conditioned car too as well.
Is this plum crazy?
Yes.
Is that the color? Okay. They had such great names. Go mango, plum crazy. Wow, and again, spotless under the hood here. Car show ready. But this isn't it. You had showed me before you had some milder sort of I wouldn't say projects, but you had other stuff too.
Oh, I got, I'll
Yeah.
show you in the back.
Okay, if
We
we're
have to watch our step back there right now because like that's what I'm coming here today to fix because basically the town will not, it's kind of a stupid thing. The town won't let me put a wall up.
Oh, there's always some trick. Hang on, before you go ahead that way, I gotta show
I'll
the,
put lights on.
the world's coolest jukebox. I couldn't.
You want to hear it?
Normally I'd say yes, but I
No,
wouldn't.
just to hear it. This isn't the record. This is just.
So it has place 45s in the cab, and you've got basically. It looks like a truck.
Yes, it's a 51 Chevy.
51 Chev. Is it made from actual metal or
No, that's fiberglass.
all fiberglass molded to look like this? So
You just have a listen. It sounds just like the old 6-cylinder starting up.
oh. And then it selects an album and starts to play it. Isn't that cool?
And you get, yeah. But when our transporting it here from Calgary, it jarred the system a little bit. So I want somebody to come here to fix it.
I've got a name. I got a guy who can come fix it.
Excellent.
Yeah, I'll give that to you before we go.
Yeah, because I've had guys, oh, okay, send it to me. And I said, no, because I send it to you, you fix it, I bring it back and it don't work again.
Yeah, they do get fussy.
They're kind of, a little bit finicky. But this one here, to my knowledge, what I was told, in this style, this with the Chevy truck,
Yeah.
there's only 3 of them.
Well, it would have been hugely expensive to manufacture.
There is one in, there's supposed to be one in a museum in Las Vegas. And apparently, and this is what I'm told, Kevin Costner has a bar someplace in Montana, and there's supposedly one in there.
And then you got yours here.
And this one here. And this
And there's
one,
the coin mechanism right there, too.
This one came actually out of the museum at the Bonneville Salt Flats.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, stuff like this they don't make a whole lot of.
Right.
Because you got to be a jukebox was expensive enough, let alone getting one that looked like a vehicle. But that's so cool. I'm thanks for stopping to show it because it's too cool to pass up. Are these customer cars or are these yours?
These are ours.
55 Chevy?
55, yeah.
Yeah. 2-door post.
Yeah.
Look at the tires on that thing.
Well, that thing was built for the quarter mile.
Well, I see that. Yeah, it's a race car.
It's got a 5-speed in it, which the very sloppy shifter.
Right.
And this is another one because my quarter miler, I blew the engine in it, and I really never drove this thing hard at all. I bought it for a guy, and he backed out on the deal.
It's all tubbed out and everything.
Yeah,
Is this street legal too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I took it down to the track. My first run, I missed 3rd gear, and I did a 14.8.
Oh, geez.
The second run, I missed 2nd and 3rd, but I did a 14.2. The 3rd run, I thought I'm going to slow myself. I'm not going to try to speed shift. So, anyways, 3rd run did a 12.8.
Wow. In that car.
In that car. And then for the qualifying run, I thought, okay, I'm going to put, dial in my best time. So I put down 12.8. I broke out. I did a 12.2.
12.2.
Yes,
And
this is an 11-second car. Once I fix up that shifter so I can shift a little bit better with it.
and what's happening? What is this? A Super Bee or?
This here?
Yeah, or Roadrunner.
Yes. What's happening with this Roadrunner? I'll try to make a long story short. The guy came to us first of all with this Roadrunner, and he said, "Hey, I want just a driver." But the floor was rusted out of it.
Yeah.
The brakes were shot. The suspension was shot. And I told him, I said, if you plan on redoing the whole car, you're wasting money by doing it piecework like this. No, that's what I done. So yeah, we gutted the thing. We put the floors in, and we did the brakes and ball joints, tire rod ends, everything else. And at that time, we were also doing a rotisserie on a 74 Challenger. And he came into the shop and he looked at the Challenger and he said, "I want you to do that to my car."
Rotisserie.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
The only thing that, let's see, we replaced the quarter panels, the doors, the front fenders, the roof is original. Oh, the back tail light panel, we had replaced that too as well. The trunk floor, the interior floor, like I said, we did. And then he says, I wanted to handle a little bit better and brake better. Can you do disc brakes and a rack and pinion steering for me? And I said, you just did all this other work on it.
Yeah.
He said, yeah. He says, but that's what I want. So fine. We were going through this thing. We had $60,000 in our bill.
Right.
Not including the car. That was our bill on the car. And it wasn't finished yet. And he said, hey, I kind of ran out of money. Can you just, hang on to the car? So for 2 years, it sat in a lean-to over at the shop. They're covered up. We had some stuff. I got a phone call one day, and this guy says, do you have this guy's car there, this Roadrunner? And I said, yeah, we do. He says, I'm interested in buying it from him. And I said, oh, okay. I said, what would you like to know? And he asked, okay, it's all done, ready to go. And I said, oh, no. There's about $10,000 worth of work yet to do on it.
Yeah.
And he said, oh. And I said, oh, well, what are you buying it for? He says, $24,000.
Oh.
Yeah. And I said, he's selling it for 24 grand? So I called him up right away, and I just said, hey, you're selling your car? And he says, yeah. I said, for 24 grand? He says, yeah. He said, I need the money. And I said, well, I'll give you 24 grand for the car.
Right.
But he said, well, no, I already kind of made the deal with the guy. And I said, okay, fine. About 2 hours later, he phones me back. And he says, Myron, you want the car? It's yours. The guy came back and offered me $18,000 for the car.
Wow. And so you ended up with it.
Yeah.
But
that's how I ended up with it.
But what happened to your bill? Did you ever get paid?
Oh, we got the $60,000. Yeah. I had the rest of the parts there. Yeah, that's what I said, the $10,000 because it was the interior.
Gotcha, okay.
Yeah.
And do you have all the bits to finish it?
Yes. But you know how it is. I got many customer stuff to try to finish off, and so it kind of gets put on the sidelines.
Now, I'm no expert here, but you might need a tire.
Yeah.
I can see into the rim.
Yeah. But it's going to get the kind of what it came with. Basically the standard rims with the dog dish hubcaps.
Right, yeah, that'll look good on it.
Yeah.
And then these Kragers will look good on something else. They don't look bad on it, but they're pretty rotted out.
Yeah, they're pretty.
They're beat.
They can be cleaned up, for something that, yeah.
Gosh, you always have the cool stuff. You make visiting out here a joy every time I have to come through.
And I'll keep the lights on here.
Oh, sure. 56?
57.
Oh, 57. But they didn't really change the looks of these too much.
No, not a whole big much. And what this is here for is because we're having a hell of a time with the temperature gauge, and tried all kinds of resources to figure out why the damn thing don't work. Got a new sending unit, got a new gauge, and it still wasn't working. What it would do, as soon as it started to warm up, it would just usually pin the gauge.
Pin it out, right?
Yeah. So anyways, there's a fellow who wants to come and work with us. He's a retired guy. This is his error, if you want to call it. He doesn't want to work full time. He just wants to come,
once in a while.
Once in a while. So yeah, he was here, I don't know, it was about a month ago when it was cold. And anyways, we found out by putting a resistor in there is that got it to work.
Oh, so good to go.
Yeah, and here's the funny thing is I got a customer's 57 outside with the same damn problem.
So now you know what to do.
Now we know what to do, yeah.
It's funny, I got in my haul of diecast I picked up, there was a Prowler, and I said, it's a pretty wild factory car that they made,
Yes.
Plymouth putting out basically concept vehicles at that time in the late 90s. It's so many unusual vehicles, but a factory built hot rod, that was such a wild idea. And you have one. And I think they're an interesting looking vehicle. I was never a fan of these bumpers they had to stick on there.
No, but that was to do with the, how can you say, the safety standards.
Yeah, you had to have
a bumper that would stand, 5 kilometers or something or other. I can't remember anyways, but that's...
it looks so much better with those things off.
Yes.
But it's factory as it is right now. But I guess your headlights are, oh no, your headlights are there. So just the signals are, something you could figure something.
I've seen guys that took them off and changed it around.
But that's the thing, you go and change it and then somebody might want it back the way it was. There's almost no point.
That's it. Well, you know what? Is because they don't make them anymore and anything else like that. So they are going to be worth more in their stock form than they are modified.
Yeah, because it is a factory vehicle. Just absolutely wild looking thing. To think you could have gone into the showroom when they were selling Dodge Caravan and Town and Country Chryslers and also picked up a Prowler.
Yes.
Oh, I see. You've got a lake forming back here.
Yes. You see what
It is just like a car lover's dream in here. And you've got a little bit of everything, but I know you have a Dodge Stealth.
Yes. I
Now-
got 3, 4 of them.
Now that was a relationship between Dodge and was it
Mitsubishi.
Mitsubishi, yeah.
Yes.
So there's a Mitsubishi out there that looks almost the same, isn't there?
Yes.
That they
Yes,
would have sold overseas.
What do they call it? A 3000?
Yeah, because essentially it's a Japanese car with Dodge badging.
Right.
Kind of a cool thing, really. I mean,
That car, the bang for your dollar is kind of one of the greatest deals. That car is the fastest I've driven on land. Not this particular one,
but that
the
model.
one that I have, yes. And driving it, not pointing it.
Actually driving it.
At 177 miles an hour, not kilometers, 177 miles an hour.
Whoa, you're flying.
Yes, and I'm driving. This is 5 o'clock in the morning. I pull into the middle of a like a 4-lane.
Yeah.
Okay, and I do this, and the car goes.
So tight,
Yes.
fast.
Staying on the ground. Twin turbo, all-wheel steer, all-wheel drive.
Oh, it's all-wheel steer as well, like
Yeah.
the Honda Prelude had all-wheel steering at the same time.
And like when these came out, I had a dealership back when they came out, and me and the rep got along quite well. And when these things were coming, and he knew I was a car guy,
Oh yeah, yeah.
and that was before all the computer shit and everything else. We're ordering computers, but you have to fill out the paperwork and submit it that way. So, anyways, he gave me the codes and everything else to put down for ordering, and he said, "But you don't dare put that in until I call you and tell you." So, anyways, I was the first dealer in Canada to order a Stealth.
To order a Stealth. Do you still have it, or
I sold that one, but I got a twin.
you got a twin to it? Okay.
Yeah. The first Crosstown Motors, Pioneer, Crosstown Motors, I think it was Pioneer or Crosstown, they got one before me. And anyways, I raised a little hell about it because I ordered 3.
You ordered. Oh right. So you're waiting on yours. Well, this one looks like it's in pretty good shape under the dust.
It is, yes. Well, that's the whole thing. That's why I want to close this thing off too as well.
Limit the dust and the
Dust,
airflow
yes,
and.
yes, and all these, like the shit that goes in.
Oh, I can see. Yeah, they start to get dusty. Dusty demon.
But what I did is I purchased the property next door.
Oh, okay.
So now I can
You can move some stuff around.
close off that side for sure.
A nice little Nova 2-door.
Yes, that is, okay, it's a factory documented too as well.
327.
327.
SS?
4-speed. No, it's not an SS, it's a 210.
It's a
That's
210.
rarer than the SS. When I got that car, I thought it was because it had the SS badges on it.
Yeah.
And it's got a 12-volt posi and a factory tack and a bench seat with 4-speed.
Wow. Yeah, what an unusual combination. I'm gonna saunter my way down here. 66 T-Bird.
Yeah.
And what is this, like a 56 Chrysler?
Yep.
I always liked the DeSotos of this era. They're a really neat looking vehicle. I mean, this is as well. There's your Cadillac Alante, a couple Cadillacs side by side. What caught my attention last time I was here is actually the Studebaker over there, which we'll get to. But you've got a Marilyn Monroe style pink T-Bird back here too.
Yeah.
57 T-Bird. These were so hot in the late 80s and early 90s,
Yes,
weren't
yes.
they?
And they fluctuated greatly in price.
Well, that's the thing. Like, these were so expensive in the 80s and 90s, and then they came right back down.
Yeah.
But
This is a true. That's the original color of the car, pink.
that is a factory pink car. Wow, that's super neat. I'm gonna, let's see. Oh, and then another Mustang sitting here.
That Mustang, yeah, this is a customer's.
Oh, okay.
Waiting to get restored.
Doesn't look too bad. Some rust probably underneath that vinyl top.
Yeah, and the thing is that it's the underneath.
Oh, right.
That we gotta.
An old Mercedes. Oh, yeah, and that wild Volkswagen over there. See if I can wiggle my way through. The ground is just pure ice underneath my feet here.
So be very careful.
But that's okay. I'm shuffling. I'm not even walking. I'm gliding on the ground right now. It's like a weird skiing motion, but it's doing the trick. Is that an Audi?
Yes.
Just mind your step too. It's super icy. Of all the weird things to have next to each other, you got this Volkswagen that's been done up to look like what, a 40 Ford.
Yeah.
At great expense. I can only imagine how expensive it was for somebody to do this conversion at that time with the chopped top and the split window. And did you ever find out if this was a factory convertible Volkswagen at one point, or it's hard to tell, I guess?
Hard to tell. Hard to tell.
Is it still licensed, or was it licensed as a Volkswagen?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, they start with basically a Volkswagen, and the only thing that looks like it's still Volkswagen is really maybe the fenders. The front fender.
The nose piece is that's
Nose piece is different.
different. The back end is different.
I see. It's got a Continental kit on it. Just what a wild ride. You told me the story of this last time, that you saw it from a distance and thought it was a 40 Ford.
Yeah, I thought it was a 44.
And then you get up close and you're like, it didn't get any bigger when I walked up next to it.
Yeah.
Corvette.
Yeah.
You got all the toys here.
And that's this car here, this Corvette, is because I was looking for a 65 with the 396.
Right.
Because that's the only year they put the 396 in them. And like body-wise, very nice because I checked it underneath and everything else. But there was things that contradicted each other. Like for instance, the rad support was out of a fuel-injected car.
Oh, okay.
So at some time or other,
Somebody had a fuel-injected engine in it?
no, I don't know if they had a fuel injection into it, but most probably they could have because this car was raced.
Right.
And that's not the original motor. And actually, a friend of mine, he called me up and he said that he seen a video of this car at Edmonton Speedway. Remember?
What, from like back in the 70s or something?
Yeah, 80s.
80s, okay, yeah.
And it had a blower on it at the time.
Oh, yeah.
It was same color sequence with the white in the front, and the 3 taillights in the back because the 1 taillight was added.
Okay, yeah. So you could identify that was the same car.
Yes. And I wondered why, when I bought it, why was there holes drilled in the back bumper? And I'm thinking, like, what the hell would the guy have back there?
Yeah.
Wheelie bars.
Wheelie bars, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, and I guess because you have sort of a racing background yourself, you're kind of attracted to these sort of cars. Like, not many people would buy that green one over there.
But you know what? That started off as a 1963 Plymouth Belvedere 4-door sedan.
Right.
Somebody did a hell of a lot of work on it. It needs a total going over though.
Oh my gosh, it's wild.
But the body filler is cracking up on it and stuff like that. Yeah, but it's chopped. It's
shortened.
Shortened, yes.
But when you look at a car like this, and you think, okay, well, somebody had to go to all that effort to make something that's maybe not everybody's cup of tea, but then somebody had to make custom glass for it.
Well, that's plexi, and
it's plexi. Okay.
If I end up doing it,
yeah.
I got lots of stuff to do. But if I end up redoing this car, I'm going to change it all to glass.
Yeah, and that's
And
a
do it.
real skill
Yeah.
to get glass cut for something like that.
And this here, this is another.
Oh yeah.
440 with 2 4s.
So hot engine. I mean, even if you would have bought it just for the engine, you would have been laughing pretty much.
Basically, when I bought it, that's about what I paid for.
Was the engine price? Yeah. Well, I mean, not everybody's gonna be driving down the road in something like that.
No.
So I'm starting to pick it up. Like, you like fast and you like weird, and sporty and classy and.
I like different stuff. Like you seen that international truck on the front there.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Okay. Because it's a supercharged with a 4-speed.
Supercharged Studebaker, 4-speed transmission.
Yeah. And if the desirable, that is most probably the most desirable of them.
Is the door open?
I don't know. It might not.
Oh, it is.
There
Yeah.
we go, yeah.
Yeah, these were, they made the Avanti 2, which was kind of a replica of this car, but this is the authentic Studebaker produced
Yes.
Avanti,
Yes.
which there's a big difference in value between this and,
Yes,
and
exactly.
a Studebaker 2. But this is a fiberglass body,
Yes.
so you're not going to see rust, but I guess they do have a tendency to rust in certain areas that I guess you got to watch out for, but this looks like a fairly solid and fairly original car, really.
Yeah.
I like that it's very European feeling. Like they basically built almost like an Italian-American car. It's so wild and crazy. This is the sort of thing I like. I like weird, unusual, and cool stuff. That ticks a lot of boxes. And it might be for sale, so there you go. Well, that was a collection and a half. You never know what's lurking inside of a cool building until you get the invite to go walk around. I'd actually been out there once before. Luckily for me, he let me film this time because it's one of the nicer car collections in my area. But thank you very much to Myron for showing me his vehicles. And if anybody's interested in any of the cars they saw, you can send me an email and I can forward that over to Myron and he can get in touch with you on it, because there are some spectacular cars in very nice condition. But guys, that's it for me today. Thanks very much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you have not already. We'll see y'all soon. Bye for now.